Hello, hi, and welcome to Empathic Fire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Pisces in December 2020. What is going on, Pisces? How are you all doing? I hope you are doing well. All right, guys, welcome to December. End of the year, end of the line. How was 2020 for you? Write me a 500-word essay and submit it to my email. I'm kidding. Hopefully, wherever you are right now, Pisces, you're safe, happy, healthy, and secure. Please continue to take very good care of yourselves and those that you know and love, as even though we're at the end of 2020, all of the fun things, sarcasm, that 2020 has brought into our lives isn't just going to disappear at the stroke of midnight on the 31st. So please take precautions as this is the holiday season. Happy holidays to you. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah. If you're doing something for winter solstice or anything else to celebrate, please again take precautions as you do celebrate because as I said a moment ago, the pandemic and all the things that are associated with it haven't just, suddenly stopped. So, and I say that because I speak from, with a semi-personal experience that my best friend contracted coronavirus, did everything necessary on their end of things to keep themselves and other people safe, but had to report to work, had to go to work, and was simply surrounded by people who did not take the same precautions. Okay, so please, let's do everything to keep ourselves and other people safe, because it doesn't have to be this bad or any worse. But again, Pisces, happy holidays. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get into it. Anything you want from me, it is in the description box already. So if you're looking for the timestamp, it is down there. If you're interested in purchasing a personal reading with me, that information is down there as well. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, there is a handy dandy link to my Instagram account. You can find it, guess where? In the description box down below as well. Okay? All right, Pisces, let's do this. Let's find some outcome for you. Let's see your outcome, please. For Pisces in December 2020, the outcome, please. I'd like to see it. Please show me. Easy peasy. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. Okay. All right, guys, let's flip what came face down for you. Woo! Woo! I don't know, when I get, it's been a while possibly that I've been this playful with Pisces, but I have the long history of my relationship with doing Pisces readings is I come in, I'm like extra playful with you guys. I'm like extra giddy with you guys. It's very interesting. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Please show me where Pisces is in December 2020. Please show me where Pisces is in December 2020. Please show me. Okay, got it. We got there. All right. Pisces, coming into your reading, you come in with the energy of the Three of Wands. I like this. I like this a lot. And I don't normally have this much ooh when I get in touch with the Three of Wands. It's a regular, it's just a minor arcana, it's just a pip card, it's no big deal. But for you, Pisces, I'm liking this because I think I'm really struck by how these wands are sort of being put into a structure. So I feel like you're incrementally planning for something, building towards something, creating something, constructing something. It's wonderful. And I'm getting oh, my man. So with this sun there with the gradient yellow, orange, and reddish color, it reminded me of my guy. I love this guy, Bob Ross. You guys know him? I'm sure many people know him. And it's just maybe some of you are getting into your hobbies. Maybe some of you are busting out the paintbrushes and painting your house or doing portraits or doing landscapes, whatever. It's just, it feels really active in a wonderful way. In a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful way, because I think whatever you're doing, Pisces, you are enriching yourself. Yes, with the Three of Wands, traditionally speaking in terms of tarot, it's about expectation. It's about ships coming in. It's about not reaping a reward, so to speak, but be knowing and putting yourself and feeling on track in alignment with what is yours and it's something that you've created or something that you've put that effort towards and you've earned. And again, it's enriching, or it makes you feel all the more connected to, I don't know, your own life, your spirituality in some cases, since wands can sometimes link to spirituality. Creativity is also there. So again, some of you are like bouncing into your hobbies, and it doesn't have to be painting. It doesn't have to be anything, artistic. Hobbies can include, mechanical things. Hobbies can include doing crossword puzzles or playing board games or video games or whatever. But there's just like a deep dive into that energy, and it feels so good because you feel so enriched. Maybe some of you are doing this as like a form of like self-love or healing or therapy. Maybe it is directly tied to that. Maybe some of you are in counsel with a therapist or some type of clinician, and like they've assigned you to, work more with your hands and create, artistic projects, and that's going to aid you in your wellness. I don't know. But it just feels really good. It feels like whatever you're doing, however you're doing it, how often you do it is also very important, because I feel like a lot of you are spending more time doing these things. Like perhaps you work a very busy job, or you have a very, very busy family life or something like that. You have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of duties, perhaps. And it feels like normally in your downtime, some of you were just like, I just need a nap. I just want to rest. Or in your downtime, maybe you were still, quote unquote, at work, because, a lot of people take their work home with them. So maybe you do a standard 8 hours, 9 hours on the job, or you're in the office or wherever, but you remain on call, right? And in some of your cases, maybe you didn't have to do that, but that's sort of like where you're coming from, like you're a workhorse, something like that. Or again, you're just feeling overwhelmed with family and stuff like that. And so your free time was really like to do the basics, eat, shit, shower, and sleep. No, that was it. Eat, shit, shower, and sleep. Repeat, rinse and repeat over and over. And I feel like some of you are like, all right, let me not skip a meal, but maybe like, let me carve out some extra time in that routine of covering the basics to actually enjoy myself, to enjoy my life, to get engaged with something that makes me feel happy. Again, like, it's possibly like that, like a breath of fresh air for some of you, because maybe for the better part of this year, or however long this has been going on in your life, maybe you've neglected your hobbies, neglected the things that would put a smile on your face, neglected certain, if it's not about actually creating something and diving into your hobbies or feeling fulfilled in those ways, maybe some of you needed more family time. So maybe collectively the family is getting together. I saw in the news months ago during quarantine, and I think it was over the summer or the springtime when coronavirus was really just getting started. I saw a report that said jigsaw puzzles, those things, the sales through the roof. Toy stores, online shops, they were running out because families were like, all right, well, we're going to be inside, for the next 14 days or 14 months, whatever. So they just started to do this stuff together. So even if you're not doing this by yourself, you might be enriching yourself by spending time with your family and your friends and building on those relationships. This feels really freaking good. Yay. Let's see what else happens. Hopefully the trend continues, right? So yeah, okay. So for some of you, the thing that was weighing on you, or yeah, I like this. Some of you are like really like putting your foot down on stuff, but I feel there is still a caution that looms over your head in the form of the Four of Pentacles. So for some of you, where I was painting that scenario where you're a workhorse and you take it home with you and you don't really unplug, or it's hard for you to unplug, or not all hours in the day are yours, and there's a considerable amount of hours that even when you're in your downtime, you still put in effort towards work. That kind of is coming from this Four of Pentacles place. Now, with good reason. Because what do we see here? We see the squirrel with these pentacles, but the pentacles, if this was a real world squirrel, might be nuts, right? So why do squirrels and other little woodland creatures get nuts? They take them to their burrows or to their little nests or wherever, and they store them, right? They compile them for a long time because they instinctively know the resources are not always going to be there. These little nuts, these little acorns or whatever else they eat out there, berries, I guess, are not always going to be in season. They're not always going to be here. So I've got to take them now and find a way to store them. I got to find a way to keep them for a long time. So translate that back to a human life. Some of you are working extra hours at work because you know possibly somewhere down the line the work is not going to be there. Like if you are a seasonal worker, and maybe summer was, the high point of your career, not your career, but of your job. Like that's the big money making season. So you were just going hard at it, or like fall, since fall was just before winter, right? So you were going really hard at your job and accumulating money, accumulating resources, whatever you needed, because you knew coming into winter, things were going to kind of dry out, right? So there is this preparedness that I feel there. However, there's also like this, the other thing that I think of when I see this squirrel is there's like a jitteriness about it. There's like a skittishness about it. It's like extra worry. Have you ever seen, it's cute. When you walk outside and you see a squirrel or a chipmunk or a bunny or any little animal, do you ever see them? Like, do you ever see an animal see you? Like you see the animal and then you realize, oh, they saw me. And like how different their behavior becomes. So like, for instance, like when I walk down the street sometimes and I see a squirrel, I'll continue, I'll be walking and the squirrel's like on the side of the tree that's facing me. And I'll walk a little bit closer and then it goes around the other side of the tree. Because it doesn't want to be seen. It doesn't want to be caught. Because, it has a rightfully instinctual fear of humans or any, I assume, large animal that they see coming towards them. It's a self-preservation thing, right? So I feel that in your effort to get more money and earn more and put stuff away for a rainy day and all that kind of stuff, it's really overworked you. It's really burdened you. It's really, in some cases, like giving you heart palpitations. In some of your cases, you're physically overworked because, we're not squirrels. We are humans and we handle stress, I presume, very differently than they do. Yeah. So with that added stress that's going on with some of you might be having physical symptoms. Like I said, palpitations, jitteriness. Maybe the jitteriness is coming from, lots of caffeine intake. If that's like your go-to pick-me-up at work, tons and tons of coffee. Let me tell you, it's not good for your body. Don't do that. but that's your go-to, and that's really, what you know. So it's what you've relied on. So I think this feels mostly in the past or residual, meaning I don't think you're going to be able to sustain this energy for a long period of time. All right. The Four of Pentacles feels like something that was a means to an end, especially with those of you where you were possibly under contract, if not seasonal work, or you were, if you're independent contractor, you had like a lot of people commission you for something and then you're just like, got to fill these orders before they dry up, before people, say, oh, I'll go with someone else. It's like, no, I can do it. There's like this, I got you, like this urgency to get the job done in order to bring in the money, to bring in the security, to bring in the finances or something, okay? If you're still doing that now, again, be cautious because I feel there's some after effects to your health or your body. They could be one in the same, but they're not always that way because your health can be just simply your attitude or your energy or your stamina, right? And your body is like your physical body. Like some of you might be pulling muscles or like, God forbid, like breaking bones or getting injured in some type of way because you've done too much, okay? So be very careful of that, all right? Now, what else happens for Pisces? Please show me. This is great. You're having a good reading. Yes. Now, interestingly, for some of you, this is a big, it comes from the Three of Wands, right? So it feels like you've prepared and now you implement. It's sort of like, the prep work that is done in a kitchen in a restaurant. There are prep cooks in many kitchens where, if a dish calls for, this to be braised or this to be roasted, like roasted vegetables, let's say. So the prep cook has to come in and chop up all the vegetables and season them and then get them prepped and in the oven and they're roasted. And then when it's time to like serve for the dinner service, they just warm them up really quickly. You don't have to sit there waiting 20, 30 minutes for fresh vegetables to roast. They've been made that day, but they're not going to be fresh. You know what I mean? So I feel that's what some of you have done, the prep work, knowing that at some point later, which is what I said with the Four of Pentacles, you're going to need something at the ready. Right now, I need it now. And if I've prepped it, I don't have to wait, okay? And I feel for some of you, this has been in preparation to kind of fly the nest, so to speak, because you've got this Nine of Pentacles here. Now, granted, I don't think flamingos fly, but, you know, they're a bird, and that's kind of where that phrase came from. But Nine of Pentacles. For some of you, if you're younger or just living with other people, this could literally be you've been stacking your chips, you've been stacking your money so that you can eventually move out. Great. Wonderful. Where's the U-Haul? You're ready to go. Or it's like this gradual and graceful step into some semblance or some version of independence, right? And it's well balanced because look how the flamingo is standing on the topmost pentacle there. I mean, that's a lot of bird on a little bit of leg on seemingly round and unstable and an unstable stack of pentacles. But it's graceful and it's happening. Yeah. So if you are moving out or standing on your own 2 feet in some type of way, becoming independent, or possibly in some of your cases, like stepping out into like a business, you're creating a business, you're creating a brand for yourself. It might to other people look haphazard or look dangerous or look possibly clumsy, but you pull it off. It's wonderful. You pull this off. Congratulations. I'm here for it. So striking sense of independence with the Nine of Pentacles. Others of you, it's just you're standing on what you've accumulated and you're kind of reflecting on it, not necessarily making any big moves, not necessarily making any huge decisions in your life. The Nine of Pentacles can be sort of a pat yourself on the back energy, just like admiring what you've created. And again, Three of Wands is this element of creation. So for some of you, maybe, being in quarantine for the past several weeks or months, maybe you've created some really good paintings or you've taken some really cool photographs around your house, and I don't know, maybe you'll like sell it for stock, I don't know, or sell it as stock images. Who knows? I have no idea. But I feel a lot of pride in a very good way coming from this Nine of Pentacles. One second. I feel a lot of pride coming from that Nine of Pentacles because, again, you've like earned it. You've worked for it. You've possibly in some cases also with the Four of Pentacles sacrificed for it. But again, those sacrifices that you could have made, may have been detrimental to your health. So be careful with that if you're in that energy right now, if you're in that space right now. But the Nine of Pentacles feels like a debut. So maybe that's something that's going on for some of you. Maybe you're debuting your work. Maybe you're debuting your business. You're presenting it, and it looks possibly shaky to other people. Maybe, again, like opening a business in the middle of a pandemic, whether it be brick and mortar or online, is kind of quote unquote risky, but also at the same time, you kind of have a captive audience, especially if you're doing something online or interactive, like say a YouTube channel or say a Patreon or something like that, where more people are spending more time online anyway. This is actually prime time to get at that audience, right? So someone around you, friends, family, people who are concerned about you, competition, they're like, oh, you're not doing it right. And you're like, baby, I'm doing it just right. Like, have that confidence, Pisces. You are doing this just right. The way you're doing it, the brand that you're creating or the products that you're creating, the money that you've accumulated, it's perfect. It's going to work for you. It might not work in all the ways, but it's going to keep you stable, keep you afloat, keep you moving in the trajectory that you need to go. Yes. 3 times. 3 times. You got 3. I mean, this could be different people, but I'm excited because I see 3 different characters. They could all be you, or they could be people external to you, or a mix of those energies. But 3 times, there's like a lot of confidence here. There's a lot of like know-how. That's a very high note coming from that song. Anyway, so how are we going? Because we can go any way. All right. We're weary of this energy a little bit, but we're going to talk. I think we're going to talk about it first. Yes. Yes. Okay. A little weary of this energy. This is Heart of Swords. In this deck, Heart is equivalent to Queen, so this is the Queen of Swords. In other decks, so this could be literally critics of yours. This could be someone close to you or an anonymous person on the internet. A friend of a friend, a freaking neighbor leaving a passive-aggressive note on your door. Like, you could be finding your bliss in your own home doing something creative, and like that involves banging on the drums at like 2 a.m, and your neighbor's just like, yo, about them drums though. And in that particular case where it's like a sound ordinance and maybe you're being annoying to your neighbors, I can get it. But at the same time, this person, they could chill out a little bit, just like relax, you know what I mean? So be careful, especially if you're like, causing your neighbors disturbance in the middle of the night. I don't know how much of a high road you can stand on with that. But regardless of the specifics, I feel this person, especially if they're external to you, they're critical. They share their opinions, most likely when you didn't ask. And I feel like they kind of think they know better than you. But again, that especially works for people who have no idea who you are, like anonymous people. Like legit, we've been living next to each other for 7 years. This is the first time you've come to my door. You don't know me. Don't come at me like that. That kind of energy. Or again, if you're like launching a business or you're putting yourself out there, possibly. It doesn't even have to be a business, by the way, everything that we're talking about, even though Pentacles are here, and Pentacles can talk about money and stability and how we find ways to fulfill ourselves in a physical sense, in a material sense. It could also be, maybe you're just launching a YouTube to vlog. Maybe you're just sharing your life story, and somebody could come up in your comments and be like, hey, I don't really like your life story. Okay, don't like it. Like, get out of here. Like, I mean, what's the point? What's the point of criticizing somebody documenting their own life? What's the point in that? Whatever. So there could be like a lot of idle chatter coming from someone like this. If they're a friend or family member of yours, it's a little harder to kind of draw that line and tell them where to go. But and that's kind of where I think you could factor into this energy, Pisces, where I really get the sense like you're not going to be told what to do, Like I'm getting like how this panther is peeking out from those feathers. I'm getting like that could be your face like, can I help you? Well, Pisces, I kind of think like you're making the wrong decisions here. Well, that's your problem there, isn't it, Uncle Steve? Isn't it, Tammy, my best friend, or whoever? It doesn't matter, right? So I feel as much as people are critical of you and criticizing you, you're firing shots right back at them. So I don't think it's too contentious because the Queen of Swords doesn't get into a fight that she thinks she can't win, right? Again, this is the Heart of Swords, aka the Mother of Swords. So I don't think if anybody's engaging with you, Pisces, aggressively or passive aggressively, I don't think it's going to go anywhere because presuming you meet them with the same attitude or the same like what of it kind of energy, or like the end your point is, that type of shit. Like this energy is not going to pick a fight and think like they're actually going to be contended. So I feel a lot of these anonymous critics or people that are close to you who are critical, they just want to tell you what to do and see you fall in line. And the moment you don't fall in line, that's when they're like, oh, okay. They back up a little bit. Not in all cases, by the way, so don't take that to the bank. But there's sort of like this, oh, I thought you were going to be a punk about this, Pisces. And Pisces is like, no, I'm not going to be a punk. What the fuck like, what do you want? Why are you in my business? Get out of my business, And then eventually they're like, oh, okay. And they walk off. Laughable. The energy is laughable to me because I'm like, what's the point? Like, aside from, in some of your cases, you might be annoying your neighbors. So be careful with that because you got to live with these people, right? You got to live close to them at least. So, be mindful, be respectful. But assuming you're minding your business, why is someone else coming in trying to mind your business? Don't you have your own business to mind? You should go tend to that and leave me the hell alone. So assuming you're not interfering with this person, doing what they need to do to make themselves happy, to get along and try and move through their day. I don't see what the issue is other than someone just wants to pick a fight with you or be critical of you or, share a useless opinion. Like, like I'm really seeing like somebody like taking a hike, possibly like recording themselves, or like maybe you're started a garden. A lot of people started gardening this year because we were at home, right? And you're documenting that, and then someone on your channel is like, when you plant this, you should face it that way, and you're like, you don't know the outline, like you don't know the outline. What do you call it? Layout. Thank you. Outlay is what I was saying. The layout of my garden. Get out of my business, Martha. Like, what? Ugh. Moving on. Appropriate. Moving on. So, someone else here, it could be another person, or you share in this energy as well. The Movement of Cups, aka the Knight of Cups in this deck. Oh, by the way, Swords energy, that's air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is Cups energy, water sign energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This could be you or it could be someone else. I think this is like a nice little cheerleading energy, like a, hey, don't let it get you down, or keep on keeping on. This could be a very supportive person of yours, a good friend, a colleague, somebody that you work alongside. So like your business partners together, could be a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever. Knight of Cups feels really like also helpful to you. So like emotionally supportive and like physically supportive. So like if you are in need of like help in like recording yourself, like if you started a vlog, or if you started again, like videoing, thank you, the progress of your garden. This is someone who's like, oh my God, I have the perfect camera. I'm not even using it here. Like they just volunteer to help you because they support you. They want to see you succeed, Pisces. It's like really nice. They're very supportive, whoever this is. And if it's not someone else, you're doing this for yourself. You're your own cheerleader. So you're the person who, like I'm feeling, I mean, all knights basically travel back and forth. They're messengers, right? They go on tasks. They go on quests in terms of medieval terms, right? They work in behest, or they work on the benefit of kings and queens, right? So I feel like this person, maybe you've hired them. Maybe they're your assistant, And it's not just lip service that this person is giving you because they're happy to be working for you. I think that this person, whoever they may be, legitimately, genuinely believes in what you're doing. They are like fan number one. They are the founders of your fan club. Okay. Beautiful. Nothing really challenging here. Maybe not the challenge, but maybe more a definition of who this person is as a movement or as a knight. This person could be your own child, or if not your like little child, like your adult child or your young adult child, because movement, aka knights, can speak to those teenage young adult years, right? So this could be somebody who, mommy's starting to do her version of Bob Ross in the spare room, and this is like your little director, and he's like 13 years old. Okay, action, mom. Something like that. Very simple. Final card in your main spread. You're going to have like what, the fastest reading perhaps, because it's so easy and so positive, is the Spirit of Wands, aka the King of Wands. So this is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Now, interesting. What is that, like a gecko or like a lizard that's around him? I don't know why I'm pointing that out, because I don't really know. I mean, I don't know like animal spirits or like animal totems like at all, unless I'm working with a specific deck. But maybe that's important to some of you. Maybe you live in an area with a lot of lizards, or maybe you do work with lizards or reptiles or something like that. But there's something about lizards, geckos, whatever this is symbolizing that might be important to you, some of you visually as a synchronicity. So take from that what you will. But this fire, this King of Wands. Now this could be someone who's a challenge to you, or this is a challenge for you to kind of take on to yourself. The King of Wands is very smart, clever, witty, charming or full of charisma. Like I'm getting like for some of you, this is someone, not a competitor, but they can enhance your life, but you're not sure about them. So in the case of you're creating something, in the case of maybe you're setting up an online shop or a physical brick and mortar store, this is somebody who's like, I can help your brand. And you're like, you can? Yeah, I can help you. And I'm not sure if that's a shady proposition or not, if I'm honest. That's for you to discern. You got to do your due diligence and do your homework on this person. But in some of your cases, this is someone who comes to you and they say, "Hey, I can help you out, or I can make this better for you, or I can improve what you're doing in some type of way." Could be innocuous, could be very genuine and truly means to help you, or is trying to milk you in some type of way. That's for some of you. This is a very mixed energy. I got to be honest. That if this is an external person, some of them, whether they be a fire sign or not, male or not, does not matter. They would possibly be trying to exploit you in some type of way. So you should be careful. In other cases, they're not trying to do that. And again, you have to discern for yourself, Pisces. Do your homework on this person. Investigate them as much as you can, and then make an informed decision. Now, if this is energy that you share in, meaning you could embody this, I feel like you would be cautious and or anxious and or a little angsty, or maybe even a little, what do you call that? Over expectant about your own success. Meaning, let's say it's something about making a transition or settling into a routine or settling into something and not necessarily realizing what you've gotten yourself into or realizing what the upkeep is going to be. So, going back to the Three of Wands, which I still think you have a very good reading here. But it feels like, let's say you started in on a hobby and you really enjoy it. And let's say sometime soon or whenever in the future, things quote unquote go back to normal, or something goes back to a more normal pre-2020 kind of pattern in your life, or everyday things sort of go back to normal, right? There's possibly for some of you a reluctance, or again, there's going to be a struggle in adapting to the return to normal. Or if you have started something and you're going to continue with it, whether it be a hobby, whether it be your own business, whether it be a combination of the two, there's something about not being fully ready to continue with that work, or realizing that what you're doing now kind of makes its own demands on you, right? Because hobbies are not necessarily demanding. We go to them and we use them to let off steam, or to, again, enrich our lives in some type of way. If your hobby somehow turns into your business, or your hobby now takes up a certain amount of time out of your schedule, when you go back to work, back to the office, back to the 9 to 5, back to the daily grind, and you're not working from home anymore, or you're, again, going back to the Four of Pentacles, maybe you go back to your seasonal job, because eventually, when winter will turn to spring and spring will turn to summer and all that good stuff, there might be a struggle to adjust, because this King of Wands is very resolute, whether it's your energy or somebody else's. It's very like, this is what I expect, or this is what I am wanting to experience. This is what I'm wanting to do. And if something or someone else doesn't want to do that, it grinds this person's gears, or it agitates that energy. It becomes like annoyed. Like, this isn't going the way I thought it would go. I'm annoyed. This isn't going the way I thought it would go. I'm a little ticked off here, right? So for some of you, that's an external person or an internal energy. And, course correction, I think, could really solve that if you prepare yourself, if you make those certain compromises with your own schedule or your own expectations. You should be able to sort of avoid any type of adversarial or tensious energy, okay? Your outcome. This reading is going smooth. Your outcome is the movement of pentacles. So again, the Knight of Pentacles. And that kind of makes sense to what I was just saying. If you temper yourself, if you mitigate and compromise in the situations, the improvement or the track that you're walking on, what you want to maintain, what you want to cultivate and have more of is yours to have, right? So Knight of Pentacles is sort of that mantra or outlook that would serve you best. Slow and steady wins this race. You know, that could also be what's going on. There could be possibly for some of you, not saying that this is what you should do, but going back to the King of Wands and possibly that being an external person and they have, I got a deal for you, Pisces, or Pisces, I can make all your dreams come true, or Pisces, I'm ready to invest in your business, sign on the dotted line today. Not saying you have to fully reject this person, but don't necessarily go to the beat of their drum. Go to the beat of your own drum. If this person or someone else is like, well, I need you to decide by tomorrow or next week or whatever, and you're like, well, I really want to take a little bit more time than that. So instead of 7 days, could you give me 10 days? See if they're open to that type of negotiation versus you saying, no, I can't do it in 7 days. Like, you know, be careful with how you negotiate and compromise with this energy. But I feel that's sort of what is serving you in the outcome. If you are measured in your response to things, and if you don't put pressure on yourself, because let me tell you, the, the Knight of Pentacles, the least pressurized knight of them all. He is chill, and I only say he because it's normally a he. We could talk about a woman, doesn't matter. But the Knight of Pentacles is never really rushed, never fussed about anything, and the benefit of the Knight of Pentacles is that it takes its time and it's thorough, and thus makes less mistakes. Not saying it's perfect, not saying this energy or you or anyone else is perfect, but there's less chance of a foul up when you take your time, weigh your options, go and do your, like I said, do your investigation, do your due diligence, okay? To make sure that what you're doing, where you're going, who you're working with, who you're aligning with, and how you feel is always serving your end goal. Because that's the other thing about knights. They have end goals. They have missions. They are on task to do something. I said that earlier when we were talking about the movement of cups. They're on a journey. They're on a mission. And they all want to succeed. Knight of Swords, Knight of Wands, they usually rush through the thing and sometimes they get what they want, but they might not have, they might have gotten more of what they wanted if they didn't rush. Knight of Pentacles, movement of Pentacles, they go so slow, or they're so patient and they're so careful and they're so meticulous that they usually get most of what they want, if not all of what they want, okay? Your overall energy... Wow, lots of people here. So if you guys are doing something in terms of business, if you've created a vlog, if you're, you know, spending more time with your family, you have a lot of potential external characters here. So I feel an abundance and a very, what is this? Like really my hugs. My hands are like trying to hug like miniature people like on this table. So I feel like a lot of like embracing of people. And I mean, God, if you're doing that now, wear a mask, please, okay? And actually, if you can skip a hug, skip it. But anyway, your overall energy, Spirit of Cups again, aka the King of Cups. So comparatively, since we had a King of Wands earlier, this could be another person with a business proposition for you, and this person might be a little more your speed. It depends on what you want to do, you know, Pisces. Some of you, if you want the glitz, the glam, the glory, the quick payoff, King of Wands might work for you. If you want something that's a little more patient or a little bit more sentimental or emotionally satisfying, not just, you know, satisfying for the moment, for the experience, you might want to go with, if this was another person giving you an offer, the Spirit of Cups. If it's not another person, it's very strange. For some of you, like, this is your dad and he's really, really impressed with you. He's really, really proud of you. That's very specific for like a couple of people. And again, you know, I'm saying that specifically for like a few people. For others of you, this person will show up and they're not even a man. They're not even a water sign, okay? I feel if this is you, this is that deep contentment. This is that deep yet quiet acknowledgement that you're doing the right thing. Even if at times it's overwhelming, even if at times it seems like you're out of your depth. Because, I mean, what do we see? We see a huge whale right there, and presumably jumping out of the ocean or jumping out of the water, right? And for a moment, like, what a crazy thing to witness. I've never seen it in real life, but I've seen videos and stuff and movies, and it's quite a thing to see, you know, a whale jumping up out of the ocean. It's really interesting. So I feel like, and I don't know why they do it. I mean, I assume some of them do it for fun. I feel it's probably a more functional reason to do that, but this like bursting out of the ocean is just like the feeling. How can I describe it? I mean, maybe that means something to you. Maybe you have an emotional reaction to seeing whales do that, or other animals, or just the sensation. Maybe like some of you surf or something, I don't know, and you like that sensation of coming up out of the water. Wow. And like, again, like this possible energy of like debuting and arriving somewhere, and your heart is full, you feel really proud, you feel really accomplished, but it's not like braggart. It's not like boastful. It's not like, hey, look at me. It's more like a, yeah, you know, like a quiet little victory. Because the King of Cups is solid, is secure, right? The kings normally in tarot represent solid, comfortable energy, accomplished energy. And the King of Cups is quiet self-acknowledgement, quiet and what do you call that? Oh, unassuming, I suppose, is a word that we could use. Unassuming victory, unassuming happiness, like not shouting from the rooftops, yeah, I'm so emotionally fulfilled. It's more like a, I'm doing good, you know? So maybe some of you might strike a deal somewhere, or you might see great success in your business, and you have a quiet little celebration to yourself, or to with those that are closest to you. You know, there's plenty of ways we can all show appreciation, or show that we're happy and we feel accomplished. Some people throw huge, lavish parties. Other people have a quiet little dinner in with their nearest and dearest. And they're like, hey, so what's the occasion? I just signed a $10 million contract. No big deal. You know, other people, they're like calling everybody. I got $10 million for this. I did this. I did da 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 da. The King of Cups is not looking for that type of recognition. Okay. So that is your reading, Pisces. If you liked it, there's a like button down below. Hit that for me. If you want to leave a comment, let me know how this resonated in your life. I love comments. I love to read them, so feel free to share. And if you have not subscribed already, friends, why don't you consider subscribing? Come on over. We'll have a good time. I cannot guarantee you'll always have cool readings like this. Anyway, Pisces, I will be back soon to do your mid-December readings. Until then, my friends, I thank you so much for watching. Take care.